I once charged through the Mudgate of King's Landing.
I don't want you to be a hero. Heroes do stupid things and they die.
Oh, I will return, dear Spider. One last time.
My lady.
I have to die in this strange country. Just like you.
Hey everybody, so you've been requesting my death predictions for Season 8 for a long time. So surprisingly, there were a number of main characters that I think that wound up surviving. So what I'll do is I'll start with the main characters that I think are going to crawl away. Then I'll start with the characters that I think are just going to be fundamentally changed so much so that they might as well be dead. Then the characters that are 100% going to bite it by the end. So if you are finding me for the first time, be sure to subscribe to get everything. We'll be doing Season 8 bonus videos till it gets here, and there's giveaway stuff that I'll talk about at the end of the video too. So characters that are safe, I'll try to explain a little bit about why I think each of these people will end up the way they end up, and if you guys really want to, I can do separate videos for the characters themselves. So first off the bat, Samwell, Gilly, and Baby Sam, probably the most safe of all the characters. It's just not his role to be a hero, do stupid things, and charge into danger's way, as Daenerys narrates. Heroes do stupid things that get them killed. Samwell is a hero of a different kind, not in the way that Daenerys is talking about it. But then Gendry, but not Arya. Arya has an asterisk above her name. I think that she'll climb away, but I do think she'll be one of the characters that's fundamentally changed, paying a heavy price for the skills that she gained with the Faceless Men. So that's actually another important thing too, is the idea of George R. R. Martin talking about consequences. He said that when Jon Snow was resurrected, he would pay a heavy price for what he went through. Like, it's not consequence free. Like, you can come back as many times as you want and you'll be completely the same as you were before. No, it's not like that. The Lord of Light, as Beric said, brought us back for a reason. Surely it wasn't to die of frostbite in the cold. So there's a very specific reason why people that came back from the dead came back from the dead. But one of the biggest reasons why I think that she's going to survive, even though she has the Valyrian dagger, so she's definitely going to be fighting White Walkers, is because the whole thing of Season 7 was the lone wolf dies, the pack survives. She formed the pack, so she will survive, which is also why Sansa is on my list too. She's the Lady of Winterfell. That's pretty much her role. So Sansa is proven that she's actually fairly competent in managing the North. That'll just be what she continues to do. Sir Davos, I think, will also be a very good advisor to her, which is why I think that she'll survive. He said something really important this season. He said, "I'm not much of a fighter, so if it comes to it, I won't be much help to you," when they were going back to King's Landing. So I think he's one of those characters that isn't going to blindly rush into danger and try and get himself killed in the name of heroism to save everyone else. Even though he's proven time and time again he's one of the wisest characters on the show. There are a number of advisor-level characters like Tyrion that I think will survive, and Davos is just one of them. So hand in hand with that, Tyrion will survive, as well as Bronn. Remember, Bronn's not going to let anybody die until he gets what's owed to him, especially Jaime Lannister. So Bronn is just one of those characters that just feels so fantastic that he would get what's owed to him ultimately. In the more traditional heroes of the story would sacrifice themselves to defeat the Night King, like Jaime Lannister. I also think that Brienne's going to be fine, and then you have the Brotherhood without banjos, which is sort of what we're affectionately calling them. But remember, their group is getting smaller by the day, so I think the Hound, Jorah, and Tormund will all survive, Tormund being the highest one on that list. Now obviously the Hound has a very specific purpose. He's going to help them defeat the Night King, but his real purpose is to defeat the Mountain. So then sort of as an end tag to that, I added Daario to the list if he does wind up coming back. I think that he'll survive and go back to the east and just continue being that charismatic sellsword. Then there's Bran Stark. I do think that he'll survive, but just like Arya, he'll pay a heavy price for his powers. I think he'll just become more weird, more invalid, and more powerful. Working our way down to the biggest deaths, I obviously think that the Mountain is going to die at the hands of the Hound. The Dream of Clegane Bowl is alive. I think that Beric Dondarrion is definitely going to eat it at the hands of the Night King. It'll be a spectacular death because he's a fire wight, just like George R. R. Martin talked about, a wight raised by fire. So I'm really hoping that they have a plan to kill the Night King that fails and Beric dies during that attempt in some spectacular ball of fire. I definitely think the comedy pirate Euron Greyjoy is going to die at the hands of Theon as he's trying to rescue Yara, and that'll be sort of the final step in Theon reclaiming himself, although not completely making himself whole. Killing Euron won't give him his bits back, but it will help actualize him as a character. And like he said, Yara is our queen, so I don't think that Theon's ever going to sit in the Sea Stone chair. But then as Melisandre said at the beginning of the clip that I included in this, I have to return here to die in this strange land. I definitely think she's going to accomplish that goal along with Varys. She was telling him in no uncertain terms that she foresaw their death. And while she has been wrong in the past, I don't think that she's wrong in this case. Then I'll say, sort of a comedy pick is the Golden Company's elephants, RIP elephants. It's just too cool to think about the idea of the Night King turning elephants into whites. So even though Cersei and Tycho Nestoris were hyping them up, I feel like they're not going to be long for this world. You'll see them, they'll be really cool, and then one of them will get turned into a white, and you'll see it marching next to the other big giants. Cersei and Jaime are also relatively high on my list. I do hope that Jaime crawls out, but I feel like he's already narrated his death. I want to die in the arms of someone that I love. So I feel like after he's served his purpose, helping them defeat the Night King, and after Cersei has died, he will also get that ending. But obviously I still believe that Cersei's going to die in a metaphorical fulfillment of the Valonqar. The little one, that's a bit of a separate video because of the main characters that are still alive right now. There's still a number that could fulfill that in a meaningful way for both Cersei and them. But then obviously I think that they will defeat the Night King, so I'll say the Night King, the Whites, and all the White Walkers will wind up dying, whether or not there's ever the potential for them to return in the future. I feel like the Children of the Forest have a certain magical power. Whether or not they're all dead by the end of the story doesn't completely mean that magic will leave the story, so somebody couldn't come along in another 1,000 years and create another Night King. But then obviously biggest death predictions are both Jon Snow and Daenerys, because I feel like when it comes to actually defeating the Night King, literally defeat him, there are a number of people that will have to work together to execute a plan. So when you say kill the Night King, everybody's going to play a role in that. But very specifically, there are a couple of people, the Song of Ice and Fire, that I think you'll ultimately be able to give credit to. So I do believe that there is a prophecy about Daenerys becoming pregnant again with Jon Snow's baby. They hinted at it at several points during this season.
I can't have children.
Who told you that?
The witch who murdered my husband.
Has it occurred to you she might not have been a reliable source of information?
I've already done a video about that. I'll link it at the end of this. So I do believe that their potential future child would survive on if Daenerys does not. But of the two of them, I believe that Jon Snow will sacrifice himself to save everyone. But I will be blown away at the thought that Daenerys could live to old age. And I know a lot of people are asking about the dragons. They can mate with each other, so I do believe there will be dragon eggs, but there's a lot of hoops that you have to jump through in order to get to that point. Like, if they die, do their dragons die? Like when Starks die, usually their direwolves die with them. So you'd have to add ghosts to that list, but I also believe that Rhaegal is going to become Jon Snow's new dragon. So there are a lot of things up in the air, but let me know in the comments who are the biggest characters you think will survive and the biggest characters you think will die. And if there are any specific characters that I haven't done videos for yet that you want me to, just let me know in the comments. But what'll happen is next week, a lot of you have been asking for a Melisandre video, what's going on with the Red Priest, what's she doing in the East. There'll be more character videos. So I'll say congratulations to the latest giveaway winner, Wispy. Wispy, please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. They're for the Season 7 DVDs now. All you have to do to enter the giveaway, just be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. I'll announce a new winner when I post new Game of Thrones. So you can click here to see all the reasons why Daenerys can probably become pregnant again, and you can click here for all my Season 8 videos. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.